welcome to episode number 3 of the 5-Star Life podcast, a podcast that helps you if you're feeling lost in life, uncertain, unsure, not confident. It helps you gain clarity, find your purpose, build your confidence, and become secure, become certain of yourself. Give yourself goals, give yourself a path. Last week, we spoke about getting women to respect you, getting people to respect you overall, but specifically how to get your woman to respect you. In the first episode, we did an introduction. Today, we're talking about being insecure and why being insecure isn't actually a bad thing all the time. Why being insecure is actually the best. I know some of you are thinking, Daniel, there's no way that can be good, but that's obviously what we're here to talk about today. So being insecure is something that is natural. It's what helps us survive, because insecurity, let's make sure we all have the same definition. What it says on Google is a lack of trust, a lack of faith in one's own ability, a lack of faith in your own ability, usually in the context of other people. Okay, so you can obviously be insecure by yourself because you're worried about yourself not feeling good enough, but usually it happens around other people and in relation to other people. So moving forward with that definition, what we're talking about is why it's actually really helpful, because insecurity keeps you alive. If you don't overestimate your abilities, you probably won't get yourself killed. You will probably be okay. If you don't think you can make it across the train tracks before the train comes, if you don't think you'll survive jumping out of a plane, if you don't think that you'll survive approaching a woman, then guess what? Guess what? Your brain, your insecurity is going to keep you safe. And there's nothing wrong with being insecure. The thing is, usually being insecure makes you make bad decisions. At least in this day and age where we do feel safe, where those typical things in relationship, where those typical things, public speaking, making friends, talking to people, those situations are usually not life or death. I say usually, almost never life or death, seldom life or death. However, that insecurity makes us feel like we're unable to do what we truly want to make the best decision we could, because we're so worried about our own ability. We're so worried about how other people will perceive us. That's insecure. That's social anxiety. But it's actually okay, because sometimes you make the same decision as other people, but it's just being made in the wrong way. Insecurity isn't the decision you make. It's the process you went through to get there. And the example I always like to give is when it comes to body count. And actually just saying that word makes me realize I need to switch my focus, because I feel like as a human, why are we talking about that? It's pathetic. Like, I understand why that discussion might be needed, but for it to be, needed, at some level it's needed. But for it to be so popular and common to see on social media, it's not the most important conversation that we should be having. So actually just saying those words, I'm going to have to change some of the future topics that are coming up, because I know it's popular for what people want to talk about. I don't give a fuck. I want to be someone that actually talks about something helpful, not just more bullshit that keeps you entertained and occupied and thinking about body count. But if you sleep with a lot of people, there are risks that are associated with that. And those are regardless of, oh, she might leave me, oh, all this, that's the insecurity talking. The truth is, if you sleep with more people, you're more likely to catch something. You're more likely to get someone else pregnant. You're more likely to just generally be involved in risky behavior, right? If you sleep with more people, the chance of you catching something goes up. It's just how it goes. However, if you sleep with more people, the chances of you cheating on someone, they go up, but for different reasons. They go up because of the kind of person you are, not because of the act you're engaging in. That's the difference. So if anyone, woman or man, were to say, I prefer someone with a low body count because it's safer, because I don't have to worry about the risks of them getting someone else pregnant or getting pregnant by someone else, then that's a very realistic, logical, unemotional way to view the situation. There's clear facts. However, if you then start to say, oh, she's going to compare me with the man she was with before, he's going to compare me with all the girls he had before, you're now thinking about yourself, not measuring up, not being good enough. You're now insecure. You're now thinking of yourself in relation to other people. You're now insecure. But that's okay, because you're going to come to the same conclusion as a person who had the unemotional and logical thought process. You just done it the wrong way. So you are insecure, but that doesn't mean your decision was bad. I don't walk down dark alleys at night. I am more athletically gifted than most of the humans on this planet. I can run faster than most people. I'm probably stronger than most people. I'm just more athletic than most people. I still don't walk down dark alleys at night. When I walk down the road, I look behind me every 7 to 20 seconds. No, way less than 20. 7 to 15. And I'm a guy who can run very fast and fight. Because I am insecure, I suppose you could say. Because one, the logical, the well-rationed thought process is other people could be here. It isn't necessarily safe. You're more likely to get attacked. You're more likely to be in danger. You might not fucking see stones on the floor that could trip you up. Something as simple as that, because it's nighttime. The insecure side is, what if someone attacked me? I'm not strong enough to defend myself. What if other people do this? What if someone picks on me because of how I look? Now you're insecure. But you've come to the same conclusion that it isn't safe to walk at night. Because guess what? If I was Homelander, I would be 100%. If I was Homelander, I would be the exact same way as him. If I had the power to x-ray people, to punch people up into the fucking, not that, I didn't want to say atmosphere. What's the name of one of the other atmospheres? I don't know. If I could punch people into outer space, then I would do whatever the fuck I want all the time. And it would be perfect, because I wouldn't be insecure. However, I am worried that I will get into a situation that I won't be able to manage. Therefore, I keep myself in safe situations. That is insecurity. It is a smart decision, but it's insecurity. But it's okay to be insecure. This is the whole point I'm making. Because when it comes to relationships, a lot of people, they're like, oh, you're insecure. You can't handle a woman that's like this. You can't handle a man that's like this. You're insecure. And you're trying to put people down for being insecure. When in reality, insecurity is just a thought process. You might as well come to the same conclusion. Because more than likely, you're thinking about something, but you're just doing it in a more emotional way. This episode is complete gibberish. Because I just know most people are not going to grasp this. I don't even know if most people care. But insecurity is okay. You're arriving at the same outcome. You're arriving at the same decision. You're just going through a different thought process. So the next time someone calls you insecure, you don't have to fight it. Don't even worry about it. Just agree with them if you like. Because one, if it's true, who cares? Why are you fighting what's true? And if it's not true, why are you spending so much time and energy trying to deny something that you don't even agree with? I found that some of the best ways to deal with arguments is just to nonchalantly dismiss people. It makes them feel frustrated. It makes them feel small. It makes them not get the attention they want. It makes them feel not listened to. It makes them feel inferior. And it saves you the time, energy, and worry of having to deal with whatever bullshit was going to come afterwards. So if a girl ever called me insecure, I just feel like, I probably wouldn't even speak. Okay? Because then what happens? Now I just go live my life without you anyway, because this wasn't meant to happen. But if someone calls you insecure, just shrug it off, because you would have come to the same conclusion. You would have realized that they're difficult to be around, which doesn't matter if you're insecure or not. No one wants to deal with. You would have realized that they're irresponsible, which regardless of whether you're insecure or not, you don't want to have to deal with. There are so many things that you are avoiding due to insecurity, which you would want to avoid anyway. The only difference is if you're not insecure, then you just make those decisions out of confidence and not in relation to other people, only to how you view yourself. And usually, and actually hopefully, to an extent where you're not worried you can't handle it, you're just deciding not to. So let me try this. If there were a girl, because I think the popular thing that people talk about is girls who sleep around. So let's just fucking do this. Let's just make this one big fuck for the last time. Girls who do OnlyFans. They sleep with loads of people, men can see you, blah, 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 blah. I don't want a woman that every man has seen. What are you talking about? Everyone has seen the girl you're with and they imagine her naked anyway. Okay? That is insecure. It blows my mind that you're so worried what other people think. Whatever. I wouldn't believe, I would find it impossible to think that a woman would cheat on me just because she slept with other people. Even if she had, I just find that impossible to think about. Because I don't have such a low fucking self-evaluation of myself. I don't think, oh yeah, there might be other guys she likes more than me. Who thinks that? If you're in good shape, you're intelligent, you know how to be funny, you know how to communicate, how can you think that another guy would be able to take your girl from you? And by the way, not in a delusional way. Because there are absolutely some women who will fucking dribble over themselves if they see any famous guy. And you obviously have to avoid those kinds of women, and it's very obvious who those kinds of women are. But for the most part, when you live your day-to-day life, how insufficient do you have to be as a man for you to worry that some guy she works with is going to take her from you? You should be. You might not be better looking than to do that work. You might not be taller than him. Fine. But you can be funnier than him. Like, the fuck? You can learn to be funnier. You can be in better shape than him. You can fucking be a better provider. And I don't just mean financially. Fucking emotionally as well. Fucking mentally stimulating someone. It's possible to do those things and men always seem to forget about it. And men hate when I say these kinds of things because they think I'm on the women's side. Like I give a fuck. I'm trying to make you better. And I'm trying to give you control. So if I say you're insufficient, it means you can make yourself better. If I say it's women's fault, then you just go, oh, it's okay. I can just cry here because it's women's fault. I don't want you to do that. I remember being 15. I hadn't kissed a girl, hadn't done anything, went to a boys' school. Like, I was frustrated, to say the least. Then when I turned 16, or at the age of 16, that's when I started approaching women. I realized I had control over it. Now, if I just thought, because I went to basically a white school, and my experience was that all women just loved tall white rugby guys. That was also kind of my experience at uni as well. And I was like, but that's not me. There's obviously not girls like that want me. So until I approached women and started getting girls' phone numbers, I was like, oh, I can actually talk to women. And then when I went to uni, that was the first time I met a girl who said, oh, I just love black guys. I was like, wait, there's people like that? What the fuck? That was crazy. And then it wasn't until after uni, when I started going to Vegas, when I started going to nicer clubs, when I started going to nicer venues and being around what many would consider some of the most beautiful women around because they get paid to do it, and having them want to talk to me, then I was like, oh, okay, I am good. Like, I'm fine. I just wasn't in the right place. I actually had control over it the whole time. I was funny. I was good looking. I was tall enough. I was in good enough shape. It's just that I wasn't in the right place. So sometimes you have everything you need, but you just don't have the opportunity. But most of you have everything you need. No, sorry. Most of you have the opportunity. You just don't have what you need. You're not in good shape. And by the way, you don't have to be. But why would you not be? It's like asking yourself, if you have a car, you don't need it to go above gear 3 necessarily, or gear 4, right? You don't need it to have a fucking indicator. You don't need it to have the revs show up. You don't need it to have windows. But why would you not want your car to have windows? Just give it everything. Equip yourself with everything that makes things easy. That's what working out is. That's what getting a good job is. That's what making yourself fun to be around is. Don't complain that you have to do that. Just make yourself better, or stay shit and get shitter results. It's okay. People are too concerned with what other people view on their life. This is insecurity. I don't give a fuck what your opinion of my life is. I don't want your opinion to be incorrect, because then that's just a misrepresentation of me and that makes me unhappy. But it doesn't make me insecure. I'm not like, oh, but I need you to think that. I just want, it's like, no, that's wrong. And it frustrates me when someone says something about me that's wrong and untrue. And that's the same for everyone. Well, most people. But for you to then say, okay, I either have to do everything for the approval of other people or completely ignore it and then just do fuck all for myself as well, those are two sides of a shit coin. Two sides of a worthless coin. You're either now so fake that you're one of these influencer types that will just do anything to try and be accepted, and you forgot to accept yourself. Or you claim you've accepted yourself, but what you've really done is given up and told yourself it was a choice when it was a choice, but you know that you didn't want to make that choice. You just did that because it was easier. Anyone can make an easy fucking choice. That's why it's easy. So I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. That's crazy. But we're talking about insecurity. And oh yeah, I was saying, you can make yourself better. When I was younger, I was insecure. And I'm probably insecure about stuff now, I just don't even realize it. And anything I know I'm insecure about, I know how to act in a way to make it normal. So it's okay. Like, what am I insecure about now? I'm actually not. Because I don't lack that confidence in myself. I can tell you things that I'd like to be better. So I'd like to be taller, but I'd also like to have super speed and super strength. Like, who the fuck, what's the difference? I guess I could do that turkey knee lengthening bullshit, but like, I don't need to be taller. It would be cool if I was, I guess, because I could like hold on to, I don't know, ledges for some reason. What else? I'd like to not be so stressed so I don't be losing my hair in the corners here. My dad's got all his hair, so I'm gonna be good for life, but still, like, but I don't worry about that. If this had to be quantified as a percentage of my existence, it's less than like 0.01%. Like, what the fuck? How is your hairline that important to you? And that actually brings me on to another thing, different topic. But this is why I always disliked gender identity. Not because I don't think you can't call yourself whatever you want. You can call yourself whatever you want. It's grammatically probably incorrect. It might be how you feel, cool. But the fact that those words matter so much to you that they define you is insane. Like, if someone called me she, they, it, I would find it, depending on the reason they do it, maybe like insulting, offensive, or funny. But to think that that would affect my identity is crazy. For me to go, yes, I'm he. I'm definitely he. Now, obviously, I haven't struggled with identity in my gender, so I can't have that same experience. But I definitely struggled with my identity for race. I was insecure about that because black people would call me Asian or black and white. Black people love fucking to be, oh, you mixed race, like, no one else gives a fuck. Every other race could be black except for black people. Like, what kind of black are you? Because we need to know. Asian people are like, you're black, you're not Pakistani, there's no way. And obviously, if there's a group of all full Asian Pakistani people and all black anything, neither of them consider me like a genuine part of the group when it comes to like that original traditional culture kind of bullshit. If they're forward thinking modern people, they usually don't give a fuck. But you know, when you go to like Asian societies at uni and Afro, whatever the fuck it was called, society in uni, people know that you're mixed and they treat you like you're mixed. And so for a long time, I gave a fuck about how black I acted, how much I knew about fucking Ramadan or Eid, whatever the fuck we do. Like, and now I just don't care. I just don't care. When people ask me where you from, I say here. I say Earth. I say the UK. And they're like, oh, where your parents from? I'm like, somewhere else, man. Like, one, it's annoying because I don't give a fuck, but people always give a fuck about stuff that doesn't matter. And I obviously get that question a lot. When you're mixed, you get that question a lot. Where you from? Oh, your parents from there. Where you know how many times I've heard, oh, that's such a cool mix? And I just go, is it? Like, I was fucking cooking in the womb, like, oh, let's make sure everything, like, bro, it's just how it turned out. I don't give a fuck. See how frustrating this is? But none of that is part of my identity. I just don't care. Like, I'm Pakistani, I'm Nigerian. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I really want to change about that. So yeah, I was talking about my insecurities though. Oh yeah, 0.1%. And then we moved on to the fact that people have like words to define themselves. You change your name, you change your identity because you feel like I am a she. I have to be a she. Other people have to call me she. If it was really you, you just wouldn't even notice. The reason why I don't know enough about gender dysphoria, all this other stuff to really speak on it, but the thing I do know is that they're struggling with identity. Because for you, and by the way, this isn't just applicable to gender because there's so many of you human people who are worried about the clothes that they wear, the haircut you have, the fucking place you live, and that's part of your identity. The job you have, oh my days. Some of that is your identity. And gender's way more important than that shit. But we really have to make sure people know we're the fucking executive whatever bullshit. We have to make sure people know that we're wearing our Gucci stuff underneath. Like, the fuck? How is that part of your identity? Just put some clothes on and then be yourself. Oh my days. Oh yeah, my insecurities. I don't know. I was gonna say like a 15-inch penis, but it's probably inconvenient. You know? I'm actually good. I just want it to be big, so I can be like, yeah, it's cool, you know? Just like, or maybe have a spare one, you know, just like swap it out whenever I just want to show off. But who cares? Insecurity, maybe money. But again, it's not part of my identity. I'm just frustrated. I'm not super fucking rich, but who isn't? So, like, those are the things that in my life I would change. I don't care if they don't, but I would change them, I suppose. But like I said, I don't feel they reflect on me. I don't feel like bad about myself for them, and I don't worry what other people think about them because those are all things I can't change. I mean, I can take Rogaine, I can click on one of those ads that say doctors hate them and see what happens. What else did I say? I could go to Turkey, but like I said, to me it's inconsequential. If I were to describe who I am as a person, my height, my hairline, what else did I say? Whatever I said, oh yeah, race, like that wouldn't come into it. That wouldn't even be the beginning. Oh, you know, I'm 5'11", I'm mixed race. Like, who describes himself like that? What does that mean? Nah, I guess I would say I'm Daniel. People call me Daniel. I like to do this. I enjoy this in life. I spend my time doing this. I like the kind of people who want to party. I love dancing. Like, the things that I've chosen, the things that I actually like make me. I said like way too much. I need to reduce that. However, that's who I believe would make me. And that's why it's hard to make me insecure. Because anything I haven't chosen about myself, I just kind of ignore it. But not, again, an insecurity would be ignore, oh, don't think about it, otherwise it'll make me upset. It's just, I've accepted it because what do you want me to do? What else is there to do? And the question might be, Daniel, how do you actually accept things about yourself that you can't change or maybe you don't like? The way I did it is by setting goals that I wanted. And this was done completely by accident. I set goals that I wanted, I achieved them, and realized the thing that I was worried about didn't have any effect on my goals. I wanted to sleep with beautiful women. my height didn't make enough of a difference for me to matter. I was like, oh, so it doesn't actually matter. Oh, I wanted to look, I don't know, good. Oh, okay, people still say I look good. My hair clearly doesn't fucking matter. I wanted to, I don't know, go to black events, be able to spend time with like my family, talk to anyone from any walk of life and not have to feel like I'm more Asian and more black and just be myself. And then I just was myself. I was like, oh, okay, people will adjust to me regardless. I gave myself proof that the things that did concern me didn't matter. And so now I just go, oh, it actually doesn't matter. Because I can live the life I want despite the things I have. And like I said, maybe you care about some things enough that you want to change them. Personally, I don't. So there you go. Hay fever, bro. I need tissue. So being insecurity, wow, fuck me. It's 10 o'clock. I blame the time. Being insecure is okay. Having worries about yourself in the context of other people is okay. It's what many might call fucking nature. We're meant to feel like that. However, in some areas, the thought process that you have would indicate insecurity. You might still arrive at the same decision though. There are some cases where being insecure will lead you to a wrong decision, where you think, she's not gonna like me anyway, I'm just gonna fuck off. Oh, she would leave me anyway, she's clearly used to dating better guys. Never mind. You're making a judgment about yourself and comparing yourself with someone else. You're insecure and you subjectively just haven't made a good choice. There's no way to know if objectively you've made a good choice. But subjectively, it seems like you stop yourself from doing more just because of how you feel. So insecurity can be fantastic. It saves your life. It helps you sustain the life that you have. It helps you remain safe. However, it can hold you back massively, especially if you're not aware of it. Because, and I think this is a problem mainly for guys, I don't think people call girls insecure, even though women are massively insecure. Should we talk about that for a second? Women are massively insecure. Almost none of them want to be seen with their bare face makeup. Like almost none of them. Like, oh, I don't have my makeup on. They have to say that as a preface to the fact that they don't look as attractive as they want to. That's what you say. Like, oh, it's my first time doing this. Oh, I've never driven before. You're letting the other person know you're a beginner so that they don't judge you too harshly. So when a girl say, oh, I haven't done my makeup or I haven't got my clothes on, I haven't got my nice clothes on, they're saying, don't judge me because I'm not how I want to be. That's insecure. And women are like that all the time. The things they do to make sure they look good enough for other women, the things they do to make sure they look good enough for men, the things they do to make sure they look good enough for themselves. Some women, apparently you guys put on makeup for yourself and just stay at home even though no one fucking sees you. That's massively insecure. You're worried about your own appearance, just yourself. You decide to make yourself look better, look different, to feel better. That's mental. You don't you just go for a walk or something, talk to someone you care about. You physically and artificially and superficially change yourself to make yourself feel better. That's nuts. That's mad insecure. But that's the world that we live in. And by the way, I don't blame women for that. I'm sure if I was a woman, I'd wear makeup because you have to. Well, you don't have to, but you're in a world where it's tough if you don't. But maybe I wouldn't. It'd save a lot of money. Women are massively insecure, but men, we're often making decisions, particularly around women, where the insecurity is driving us. Oh, I don't want a girl who does OnlyFans because other guys will laugh at me, because people have a wank to her, blah, blah, blah. That's insecure. Which means you've arrived at a decision you may or may not have arrived at anyway, but you're doing it for insecure reasons. You understand that? Because you're comparing yourself or your situation your ability to handle that with the input and feedback of others. Like if I was with a girl who did OnlyFans and then guys kept coming up to me and saying, "Oh, I've seen your girl naked. Oh, I've seen her vagina," I wouldn't be upset that they've said that to me. I would be upset, one, that they had the audacity to say it, but two, that it keeps happening. I'll be upset at the frequency. I wouldn't mind the action itself. That's the difference between insecurity and confidence. I wouldn't do it for the. I wouldn't do it so we arrive at the same place, but for different reasons. I don't want a girl on OnlyFans because of the type of women that are typically on OnlyFans. If I met a girl who goes to church that was on OnlyFans, then cool. And these are all hypothetical because I have my family already. I just find it easier to talk in this context. So being insecure is something that you have to pay attention to. It's not a problem. More guys need to admit it, but it's what it is. Oh, I want to date an 18-year-old because he's more impressionable. I don't want to date a 30-year-old because she's had more bodies, or she's old, or she's got trauma. It's like, okay, cool. You know, that's only half a thought process. So it sounds like you're making a decision which could be good for you, but you're making it for insecure reasons. So it's like, okay, I don't want to date fat girls because I don't find it attractive. They sweat more, and I just don't like it. It's too much, right? But an insecure man would say, I don't date fat girls because other people would like look at me dating a fat girl and they think it was bad, or maybe I can't pick her up, whatever the fuck people would say. And actually, that might be a good estimation of your ability. But like I said, insecurity isn't always a problem. But you're making a decision based on insecurity. And do you realize that it's insecurity? Because if you don't, you have to become aware of that. But if you do, then you just know. Listen, I don't want people to make fun of me because I'm my fat girlfriend. I know that's insecure, but I still don't fucking want it. Cool. That's you then. For me, it's just, I don't like how it looks. Some men fucking love it. You know? So there are things in society which we're trying to label as bad. We don't even know why. You don't even know why. You don't know why calling a guy a simp is bad. You don't know why calling anyone insecure is bad. You don't even realize that being insecure isn't always bad. It just depends on why you're insecure. So being insecure can help you. It can be fantastic. It can be the thing that you need. But just pay attention to it. And if you can learn to become aware of the things that you're insecure about, guess what? You no longer actually become insecure about it. It just becomes something you've accepted. Because it's usually something that you can't change. So there you go. But if you want to challenge insecurity, you have to set goals that you feel the insecurity would hold you back from. And then you go and achieve those fucking goals. That's the easiest way. The absolute easiest way. And if you didn't know, I've said this before, there's 4 ways of building confidence. 1, build a skill that you can rely on. 2, make things safe. 3, have the fuck it attitude. And 4, remove yourself from the things that you think are attached to you. So if you were to get rid of insecurity, the only way that you can really do it is set goals and fucking build a skill that you can rely on and achieve those goals anyway. Give yourself proof that the insecurity doesn't matter. However, the more difficult way, and it's something that, as far as I'm aware, has to be done in conjunction with other things, but you just detach yourself from the things that you think are associated or label you. The fact that your body shape isn't so much a part of you. Well, actually, body shape is something that you choose. If something is a choice, then it's something that by default is kind of part of you because you've actually said, I'm going to look like this, I'm going to do this. If you haven't chosen it, then you have to realize that that lack of control means it's a arbitrary aspect of you, an arbitrary feature of your life or of your body. So how much responsibility do you want to take over something you had no responsibility for? You can only accept it and say, cool, so now what? I was born with 3 tits. Like, what do you want me to do now? How much responsibility do you want me to take for tit number 3? Or do you just go live your life, you know? I'm so poetic sometimes. I don't know how I do it. But like I said, I think this is going to be the last and only time, the last time that I want to talk this crassly about these fucking useless topics, because there's enough people talking about insecurity. They're talking about it in the wrong way. There's enough people talking about body counts. They're talking about it in the wrong way. They're talking about it for views. I want to talk about it as a solution. But people are after different things on the internet. So there you go. Today's episode was why insecurity is okay. Why it's sometimes good to be insecure. Pay attention to it. Same outcome, different thought process. Or sometimes it's just a bad outcome because you're not fucking thinking right. Because you're thinking based on how other people are perceiving you. Because you're thinking that you aren't good enough to get whatever you want to get or do whatever you want to do. So be careful of that insecurity. But hey, it's keeping you safe. It's trying to help you make a good decision. Question is it? And the only way you know that is by challenging it. The only way you move past that is by challenging it. And if you can't control that thing that you think is an insecurity, then realize that it makes no sense to take ownership of something that was given to you and you had no choice in it. You can be upset about it for however long you want, but at some point it makes it easier to just accept it and go, okay, well, this is a part of me. How much time am I going to spend focusing on this? How much time am I going to spend focusing on the fact that I'm 5'11"? How much time am I going to spend focusing on the fact that my feet are size 12? I have to buy expensive shoes, bro. I would love like 9, 10 size feet. But no, size 12. How much time do you want me to spend on that? I can learn to just detach that from what I consider to be me. What I consider to be me is the way I talk, the way I think, the things I like, the way I act, the way I behave, the things I choose to do. My body is part of my personality because I actually choose to look like this. If I had some kind of condition and I just ended up looking like this, I'd be like, well, I don't get a choice. Why would I include in my personality something I have no choice over? Doesn't make sense. And we briefly talked about identity, but like I said, and identity is something I'm actually more interested in. That's something that's actually a more helpful topic because it's something that I think will actually make a difference. But I don't want to talk about body count, man. Fucking hell. Oh, it's just what people want to see, so we'll see how the clips do. If the clips are doing so fantastic that people listen, fine, I'll chat shit with some people. But it's not for me, man. I'll let other people have those conversations. There's other conversations that can be had. There's other conversations that need to be had that can make our lives better, that can help us find our purpose, that can help us feel more confident, that can help us feel more secure, that can help us reach our goals. And that's what we're talking about here. So that's the end of podcast number 4. I was just rambling. I think this one was a bit of a shorter one because I was just going all over the place. I just wanted to talk about insecurity, and then I realized I didn't want to talk about insecurity. So I could have just deleted it, but it's on the list, and that's my problem. So next time, what can we talk about that can help you find that purpose, that can help you feel less lost in life? See, one of the topics is, should men approach women? I don't even know if I want to talk about that. So I'm going to talk about how I found my perfect woman. And it's going to be a good one because I'm going to tell you what most dating coaches, I'm not a dating coach, But I'm going to tell you what most coaches in this area will never tell you about finding the right woman. So stay tuned. I had to add this in the middle of the night because it came to me. One important thing. Insecurity isn't the same as privacy. There are some things that you want to keep private just because they're personal to you. They're important to you, or it's just things that you typically wouldn't want to share or just don't want other people to know. That's private information. It's got nothing necessarily, it doesn't have to have anything to do with how people view you. It doesn't have to have anything to do with your ability in yourself or your opinion of yourself. It's just there's some things that you want to keep for yourself. Like, we all know that we have bodies. We all know we can be naked, but that doesn't mean we're okay with our news being everywhere, because there's parts of ourselves that we just want to keep for ourselves. We don't want other people to have access to certain things that we want private or that we only share with a few people. It's not the same as insecurity. But again, it depends on the reason. That's it. Let's go sleep.